Peace YouTube, this is FleurBrun coming to you today with a new topic of discussion. Hey y'all. I know I look crazy. I hope you can accept my new status as a trans panda. And, I'm really feeling in alignment with my new status. So hopefully you respect me and make sure you aren't speaking against my trans status. I am a trans panda, and I hope that you can accept me as I am. Sometimes I'll roar. I like to eat salmon, like by my mouth. So just accept me. And I wanted to introduce myself to you because I was in the panda closet, and I just said, you know what? This might be the day I come out. So, welcome everybody. My name is Trans FleurBrun, and I am a trans panda. And hopefully I'm going to see if my governmental status can change. If anyone knows from the trans community how I can change my license, I think I have a good mane, but my hair, I still have to grow out, this is my hair because I bought it. So please don't judge me. I bought this, so it is my hair. This is my fur, so please don't question my status, okay? I am a trans panda, and I'm coming out of the closet today. Patusha-sa. So, welcome everybody. Hello everyone. I just got out of YouTube jail. If any of you don't know, they actually removed my video last time. I'm sorry, Farrell. Do you like it? It's my fur. I purchased it, and it is mine. So please don't question the validity of my trans status. Okay. But they obviously, everyone knows YouTube. Thank you so much, YouTube. I get so much validity. YouTube removed my last video claiming misinformation. So I feel that I should come out of the closet. I mean, if you're telling me I'm not authentic, YouTube, then I should really be who I truly am. This is who I truly am, y'all. Look at my ears. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate. Appreciate the trans panda. This is the trans panda movement. If any of you feel that you are not in alignment with who you were born to be, by golly, your government says you can change into anything so long as you feel it. If you feel that you are in alignment hormonally, like I always felt like I wanted to bite a fish in the water. Like I always felt like I want to stick my face in the water, stick it in the water, and I wanted to bite a fish. You know, the salmon? So I want all of you to come out of the closet. I think we all should come together as a collective and be who we truly want to be. I always wanted to be a panda. As a child, I felt, and look, my skin is changing. I'm turning into a panda. Look, biology, I'm sorry. Biology is changing, y'all. Look, I'm turning into a panda. It's beautiful, beautiful. So if anybody wants to donate any fresh salmon, if you want to donate any, maybe just the oil, because I don't know if it's GMO free. I'm available for that. So you can send me all the salmon through the mail. I think you have to freeze it. And I'm accepting donations in fish. And bamboo. And bamboo. Thank you, Diddy. And bamboo. Anything bamboo. You know I love bamboo. I'm sorry. Pandas are different. But I am a different kind of panda. Remember, I'm a trans panda. So even though most pandas are vegetarians, I am choosing to be the kind of panda that I perceive myself to be. So maybe occasionally I'll eat some salmon, or maybe I'll do both. Maybe I'll be like salmon on weekends, and then I'll do bamboo on weekdays. Okay, trans panda movement is on. Pop and say something. Say something. I will call the popo on you if you tell me that I am what I think I am. Do you understand me? If you tell me and you say to me and insult me and tell me that I was born Durham Plaisir in Mount Vernon, New York, I will punch you in your face. I'm sorry, I won't do that. I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. I'm working on my transphobia. You know, I'm working on my feelings of insecurity, and I'm sorry. I love you. Hey everyone, peace and east west. So this is what we're coming to today. Sag full moon. Yes, you did. Listen, I know I look so silly, right? I love my pants. Look at my pants. I'm hot. I'm smelting. So let me take off my. Woo. Ah, ah, oh. I'm back to FleurBrun. Let me get my ponytail and flake. Ah, hey sensei. I miss you, mama cakes. Anyway. So peace to the east, the west, the north, the south. This is FleurBrun coming to you today with a new topic discussion. I'm only going to be trans panda on weekends. I'm going to try to see how this is and see how it goes. Once I get my credentials from the governmental giving me the status, by all means, we come out of the closet together. So anyway, y'all, come on in. As you know, I'm playing. Anyone who... I'm really silly today. It is the full moon. They're gonna call the popo. I'm gonna call the popo on you if you mess with my status. Anyway, I don't have much battery life and check on in. You know, I wanted to, you know, just talk about last time. I know a lot of people were waiting for the video last time. No, I'm not serious. Panda parade, coming to the Panda parade. As many of you know, the last video I made was taken down. Transparency, Denise. Y'all are out of control. I love you so much. Trans Pandas United. We should all get our pandas on. I think we can cross borders. Are we allowed to go into like Asia for free? Because we're kind of like an endangered species and we aren't in the right location. I wonder if we can get free flights. Yeah, we should actually demand and command for them to return us to our native homes. That would be cool. Trans panda transformation. Okay, so everyone, I just wanted to please, yes, Kelly, thank you. Please put a like on the video if you are for the shenanigans. It is Sagittarius full moon, y'all. I'm in rare form. And I just got out of YouTube parole because they wouldn't let me post anything since my last video. And they actually took down my last video saying that I was impersonating information that wasn't true. So I figured, well, shoot, if a man could say he's a woman, god darn it, I could say I'm a panda. So you're gonna tell me, so I'm wondering if YouTube will go on people's pages who were born men who say that they're women because they feel that way. I wonder if they tell them that that's medical misinformation as well. So I figured if they're not getting after them for medical misinformation, for saying that they're a biology and a gender that they're not, gosh darn it, what if I'm a different species? I always felt in alignment with pandas. You know what I'm saying? I got the whole salmon thing off, but you know, I'm a certain kind of panda. Anyway, so I wanted to get into AI neural, the neural linkage. My phone is not gonna last that long, so wait, pandas are a protected species, so we could go, oh, we can go and be good anywhere. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. We're going to create the trans panda movement, y'all. We can move all over the place. This is cool. They from Chinois neck of the woods. We gonna go all over. We could travel. I wonder if we can get visas saying we panda. I'm gonna really work on that. Okay, so let me stop. Anyway, so last live, you know, obviously they yeah, I posted the video "What is a Woman," Manzi Taga, on my Patreon. I had the whole I actually have the full movie, and if you want to see it, I posted it there. I can't post it there because, you know, it's quite controversial because, you know, people don't know what a woman is anymore. You know, even though we have these beautiful yonis between our legs, we can give birth to children. We get milk out of our breasts when we get pregnant, and after we get pregnant. And, we, you know, we biologically are hormones away from men, but no one knows what a woman is nowadays. Very interesting. Just nowadays, being a woman is just wearing a dress and a whole lot of makeup. Let me explain something. If you got to put a whole lot of makeup on, put a whole lot of falsettos on and pretend that you're something that you're not, chances are you aren't a real woman. So, you know, da-da-da. Anyway, so let's get into the neural linkage. And I wanted to bring some information really quick out for those in the dating scene who are trying to stay away from dating people who got the Cucarachi kill shot. Well, family, you know, I'm not sponsored. I should get sponsored by some of these things. If you want to date someone, I should do like a commercial. If you want to date someone and you're concerned about their vaccinated status, sir and ma'am, there's a way that you can check and make sure that your partnership isn't chipped. By all means, it's your right to search and know the truth and have a certain transparency. So for now, we found ways to hack the system so that if your partner is telling you that they haven't been vaccinated and they have, you can find out. Now, for many of you know, we found out on YouTube from a particular person how to find out if someone's gotten specific Cucarachi shots. And one of the ways we found out is that a lot of them, if you saw it, some of you saw already, I shared the video where there's people who passed away, unfortunately, and underneath the graveyard, they were emitting Bluetooth signals. Yada, yada, yada. People say it was hacked and so on. It was true. Okay. And because certain people were getting chips, unbeknown to them, and they were emitting a Bluetooth signal underneath the ground. Now, we wanted to make sure that we verify this. Do you like my fur? Do you like, I'm a trans panda. I will show you my status again, but right now it's a little too hot. So I'm a trans panda parent. I'm a trans panda only on weekends or weekdays. I haven't decided yet. But we found out a way to find out if someone has gotten specific Cucarachi shots. One of the ways is you can use your Android phones, and your Android phone has a way to to show any types of Bluetooth. It's not called Bluetooth. It's like their numbers will show up by using the Androids. Now, many of you, we already verified it. We did it on Zoom. A lot of people were shocked because it did work. And we verified it works because when people come in and out of the room, their status shows up, their number. We aren't quite sure why some of the numbers change. The RFID, thank you, Cubby. I'm not sure why the number sometimes changes, but the number of people in the room verifies that those who've gotten Cucarachi shot it up. Okay, but we found another thing that works, and this is one of them. This is, I feel like I'm in Star Trek. So this verifies, like, this is for chips. Okay, so you can see on this, it'll have a number. Now, this is used for animals. Hold on. It's used for animals. Wait, hold on. Let me put my hoodie on again. Okay. I am not being sponsored by them, so please don't say, oh, FleurBrun's I wish I was being sponsored by them. I should, because they're about to make some money. But, okay. Notice that it says, I didn't even know chickens. Who's chipping the chicken? You're chipping the chickens, for God's sake? They chip fish, chickens, dogs, pigs, ducks, everything. Furry lives matter. Furry lives matter. So anyway, so this is a way that you can verify. It's an animal tag reader. I did use this, and I tested my ex. He was a nice candidate. He volunteered. I don't do anything against anyone's free will. And I tested one of the dogs that is chipped, and it does work. Okay. If you test them, you will see the number on here. Like, obviously I don't have any tags. So if you want to see if I have any tags, it doesn't work. But if someone has got the Cucarachi shot, it does work on certain people. So if you don't use your Android phone and it's too hard to do, the RFID animal reader, because we are trans animals, as you see, does allow for you to, I'm sorry, my hair is kind of a mess, like a messy bun. It does allow for you to read if someone has gotten Cucarachi shotted up. Okay. My ex did not show up with one, so I don't think this is as valid as doing it with the Android. But if you're going out on a date and your partnership or your potential partnership says, and they know that you are like pro not doing the Cucaracha kill shot, and you want to verify, and they say that they aren't, you can simply verify with this, or you can do it with your Android phone. Okay, so let's get into AI, y'all, and the neurotransmitters that are being emitted. Now, many of you know that when you use your phone, and a lot of times, even if you're not using your phone could be in another room. You could be thinking about something. Your phone will pick up the thoughts. It'll send you an advertisement. Let's say you're inside of another room and you're like, darn, I forgot to get some cat food. And you're thinking about specific cat food. Maybe you're thinking about, maybe your cat likes chicken or lamb. And all of a sudden, your phone is in the other room, it's off. You go and turn on your phone, and guess what the first advertisement will be? It will be cat food, and it will be the brand that you were thinking about. Because AI neurotransmitters are now picking up your thoughts. Remember, thoughts are energetic, is energy. And even though we don't perceive our thoughts as having any tangible residue, they do. So now with all of the technology and 5G, along with other forms of frequency transmitters, they are picking up your thoughts, and they are able to transport them and translate them into your electrical devices. So the things that you're thinking are automatically showing up on all of your social media devices. Even to the point where I went to sleep and had a dream and woke up, and they had an advertisement of a phone with a astronaut on it, of the same thing I had in my dream. Our thoughts are being captured by a net that picks up all of these electromagnetic energy waves that we're sending out signals, and they're able to pick them up and translate them and spit them back at you. Now, many of you know who worked in hold on. Oh, hold on. Ben says FleurBrun is Lilith in the flesh. The Game 23, Cicada 3301, Lauren, Quinn, Saturn Cube, Soul Harvest, Hell Trap, Michael. I'm Lilith. Well, that's not really my name, but I guess you're new to the channel. Whenever someone comes in here and they call me a siren, listen, sir, I've been called worse. I've been called a siren, a witch, a warlock, a devil, a demon, a fatty, a Starbucks, a Starbucks, what did they call me? The guy called me a Starbucks succubus. A demon, a devil. I've been called everything. Lilith is probably the kindest thing I've been called in a long time. So listen, it's okay that you deem me that way. I think you're new to the channel, or else you wouldn't even have that perception of me. But you are allowed to feel as you want, because this is a free will channel, free expression channel. And if that's how you feel, it is. But I have to say that I don't want to say not. I haven't any Lilith in me. Maybe a concept of a Lilith kind of maybe energy around, but that isn't true. Okay. Anyway, so let's go into just, it's interesting. You could tell when someone's new to the channel because they'll call me something that is really left field, but they don't realize that I've been called a monkey, a dog, a cat, a demon, a reptile. I haven't been called a gray though. I haven't been called a gray. That's one of the things I haven't been called a gray. They call me a siren because they always say that I'm like, calling, yeah. But Lilith is probably the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me in a long time. So, maybe it's a compliment. Thank you, sir. A Jezebel. They call me a Jezebel. They call me everything. Anyway, so it is what it is. I'm trans Panda. And for you, sir, you need to call me by my translated name. I don't appreciate it, and you need to call me a trans panda. The next time you call me Lilith, I'm going to correct you, and I'm going to call the popo on you because I have a new status, and it's called trans panda. Get it right, sir. Anyway, Anyway, so AI is now picking up your neural thoughts. Now, it always probably did, but I think, remember back in the days, they used to have these experiments. Now, some of us who are from the psych fields or worked in research, I don't even know that. I think in the psych fields, you guys did this. I don't know when you, maybe in clinical research. I don't know. It depends on if you go to a research college or university that do these types of studies. But do you remember when they used to put these headsets on people, like these head things, and people used to look at a screen and have a thought, and the thought would be transformed on like a digital processing screen? That was kind of like the concept of them beta testing it and working on the actual technology that was able to pick up the thoughts and neurally and your neural transmitting of it and translate it and transfer it into a digital apparatus, right? So now we know, based on us seeing this perfectly, that they have mastered it, because your thoughts now are being caught in the World Wide Web, and your AI is picking up your is now a neurotransmitter. Okay, so now it's pulling it in and translating it. Now, what is the problem with this is that there isn't any privacy. Your thoughts aren't any longer your own. That's why, y'all, you got to be careful, because they pick up the collective thought patterns, and then they're able to delegate a new system of control or social engineered propaganda to anti or to drive upon that collective consciousness. So you are being constantly bombarded by social forms of manipulation through social media via the neurotransmitting thoughts and that kinetic thought going into a quantum computer, the AI computer picking it up, and it's basically translating it, quantifying it, and spitting it out as probably some propaganda, something like, okay, braziers, like all of a sudden, here you're busty babs like myself, and all of a sudden all these big busty babs bras show up on your phone. How is that possible that your thoughts are now showing up on your phone and your social media? And you got to be careful, because there are people here that I personally think are Sims. There's some sort of like empty seaters, but they're more like holographic people. They are being projected out here, and they are just part of the AI. You just don't know it. You think that they're real, but they're really just projected people. They're like prop people, holographic people, Sims, whatever you call them, non-character, what is it called? Non-something players. Okay, there's a whole bunch of them. So now that your thoughts and everything is coming into the system and going through the quantum computer, because AI is pulling it up, now it's being spit out, and now it's being projected into these NPCs. Thank you, NPCs. And its NPCs now are part of the propaganda. So now you'll have a friend call you like, hey girl, oh my God, we've got to go to this place. I heard it's really the bomb.com. Meanwhile, she's taking you to a place that is going to further subject you to social engineering and probably put some nanotechnology in you via the drinks, the water, the environment, what have you. She is now being utilized as she's being pimped out by the quantum AI computer, and basically is going to project herself at you and, basically, pull you into a further psyop of some form of control, manipulation, simulation. Control, manipulation, simulation. Control, simulation. Okay? So you have to be mindful now, because all your thoughts are being projected out into the quantum field. And the quantum field in the AI is pulling it up, utilizing it as information and intel, and taking that and putting it out with the right agents, Smiths, people who are highly susceptible to mind control. All the NPCs are up on the agenda. All the popos and all the Willy Wonkas are up on it, because that's why they're projecting all this madness out here. Do you understand? Okay? And I just wanted to say, I'm going to give a little code. So if y'all know me, you know what I'm talking about. You remember we were breaking down the Wizard of Oz, right? And Dorothy was following the yellow brick road. And when she was going further and closer to the Emerald City to gain what she considered to be her sovereignty so she could return back to her home planet, as soon as she got close to her goal, they sent out the flying monkeys. First, they put them in the poppy field, right? I'm sorry. Wait a second. Yeah, first they put them out in the poppy field where they were high as kites, CBD, medical marijuana. You could drink, you could take mushrooms, you could snort it, you got all these, what are these things y'all doing now? These pens, these smoking pens. You could get high as a kite right now because that's the poppy field because you're getting closer. So the closer you got the poppy fields. So once you made it out of the poppy fields, then they send the monkeys. I just wanted to add that to you, okay? Oh, they're called vape pens. I'm sorry. You know, a drug is a drug is a drug, okay? E-cigarettes, vape pens, all drugs, okay? They want you high as a kite because guess what? A complicit high populace is a very weak populace. When you got people so high and they can't move around because gasoline is so high, they can't afford to move around. So now everybody is high as a kite. You could just go out your door. Listen, I've never seen so many drug apparatus places in my life. And you know, I'm from the 90s. You know, I'm Planet X. I'm Generation X, right? Planet X. Notice I said that. Dum-dum. Okay? I'm just saying, I've never seen so many people high in my life. I talked to somebody the other day. I swear to God, if you ever watch Snoopy, if you ever watch Charlie Brown, remember the teacher was at the board and he was like, that's how it sounds. Everyone sounds like, I can't even understand the language. I feel like I'm on a Martian planet. Want. That's it. Want. I thought something was wrong with me. I thought something, you know, people have strokes and so on. Serious. I really thought something was wrong with me. It's like, oh snap. I was like, I don't understand what they're saying. And I'm looking at this person like, what? I was like, is it me? I was like, is this another language? Am I like, maybe I jumped ship, jumped the timeline, went on a Martian plane of existence? Maybe something happened. But then I realized when my self-esteem popped back in and my cognitive skills kicked in and my mindset picked up, oh my God, it isn't you, FleurBrun, it's them. They're all high. If they're not smoking it, they're sniffing it. If they're not sniffing it, they drinking it. If they're not drinking it, they're effing it. Listen, we're living in a world of high apathy and complicity. You can't fight Willy Wonka if you high as a kite. Listen, if you chilling in the house, vaped up, smoked up, snorted up, coked up, whatever you are, you can't fight anybody. You could barely even stand up. Do you understand? So if an environment that is high is unlikely to be able to fight the system because they made sure they gave you the poppy field, right? But right before you're about to hit the Emerald City and pop it off, guess what? They got the monkeys for you. They got monkey balls falling from all over the planet. Okay? So that being said, I just want you to be mindful that if you are participating, let me explain something. Some of us participate in the agenda and it isn't necessarily, it's by default. Can I say that? It's by default. What do I mean by that? It means that you aren't necessarily doing it because it was part of the original agenda. It might have been something you did previously, but unfortunately it falls into the plot of the agenda. Do you understand? So now, let's say you were a chiefer occasionally, and it wasn't a big deal, but you got it illegally, okay? But you chiefed occasionally. and it was real cheap. It had seeds in the bag, or you got it from somebody who grew it in the backyard. I don't agree with it. I think it's illegal. I don't support that, but I'm just saying. But now you have all of the environment supporting, chiefing, CBD, all that stuff. Now, listen, I'm an island girl. I come from island people. We don't get down. Listen, I'm talking about old school island people. Anytime you boost something that already has a high effect, something that gets you high, you're alchemically changing it, and then it's going to alchemically change the pH in your brain and how you think. Okay? So remember, I'm Generation X. I didn't live underneath the soapbox. I've seen everything. I've been exposed. I'm from New York City as well. Big up to New York in the house. We see a lot. I've seen heroin addicts. I've seen people on all kinds of drugs on the subway. I see homeless people. I see people, do wild things. It's not to say I haven't seen that. But whenever you're doing drugs and it is being perpetuated and promoted, it is literally to keep you apathetic and weak. So you're unable to master a cognitive level that's necessary in order to fight or flight to leave. Just saying. And anywhere you see where men have been totally feminized, it means that they are feminizing men, because who fights wars, y'all? Men fight wars. Generally, women do it, but that's by default. It isn't really how we're built. We're built to nurture and take care of our babies and tend to, create. We're artistic. That's what we do. We're really, we nurture and we just take care of things. But whenever they want a weak system, they will promote drug use and they will promote femininity with males. They will feminize your males, because I don't know how many males will be able to fight a war if they're on estrogen and hormones, and they're doing nail polish, and they're wearing makeup tutorials, and they're trying to put their foundation and weaves on, and they're wearing high heels and pants that can't fit up their behinds. So it's very easy to subjugate your environment to these forms of social engineering, because they benefit at the end of a cycle, when you will require to keep the populace weak in order for you to set up your agenda, and you won't have any pushback. So when people are really happy that they legalize Mary Jane or Chief, you should have realized that was the end, friend. When they legalized something that was back in the days considered to be illegal, and then they take control over how they distribute it to you with all these dispensaries. Like, listen, if you're up on doing dispensaries, I already know you're compromised. Your auric field is compromised. Now, why do I know that? Because the more drugs and alcohol you do, the more it pokes holes in your auric field. And you know what likes to suck on holes? Those little energy vampires stick on top of those holes, and they suck on you, and they permeate their thoughts inside of those holes, so they now penetrate into your mindscape. So now you think your thoughts are your own, but meanwhile you got piggybackers that are now leeching on top of your auric field, promoting these neural transmissions, and you think that they're your own. I'm just saying. So now we have Willy Wonka and his League of Doom knowing everything the collective thinks. The general, come on, Cookie. The general disposition, and they can predict your next move. So you basically are being controlled by all ends. And please know that Willy Wonka and his League of Doom. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I think I heard a spider. I didn't mean to hurt you. I don't like to hurt the spiders. You know what I'm saying? Because my hair is so curly, they like to land on my hair. Are you okay? She's okay. Okay, I think she's okay. Yeah. I have a relationship with the spiders. As I told you, the arachnid queen contacted me, and she had contact, and also that I also had contact last night. You know what's interesting? And this is sidebar. I'm just gonna sidebar for a minute. I should probably do a video on this. I didn't think to do it because I wanted to talk about this and kind of like talk about how YouTube removed my last video. But I had contact, and the same in Brazil is every time I get contact. When I say contact, it's whenever it's a really just, it could be literally, I think they opened up a vortex or they could have been a ship. But when they do it, just like in Brazil, there were monkeys all around the house before we got to Brazil. And then when we came, me and my daughters came, all the monkeys left. They would not come near the house. There are these beautiful deer here. Oh, they're so, I'm still in Pennsylvania. Big up to everyone. I'm still in Pennsylvania. I'm going to leave in a little while, but I'm here in Pennsylvania and I have the most beautiful deer. Oh, they're so majestic. And there's a family of deer that live here. And because last night, well, it's happened for the last 3 nights, but last night it happened, I had contact again. All the deer are gone. So it's weird that the things that are normally around, the deer have disappeared because I had contact. And I'm assuming the ships, because the top of the trees were broken down. So it's probably because of the ship, or a ship that was low and hovering. So I want to share that. I'll go into more of the contact tonight on Zoom because it was really deep, because it came in the house. It was interesting. Anyway, so the connection to your neural synapses and those, oh, please put a like on a video if you're up for the shenanigans today. I always like to say, please put a like on a video if you're up for the shenanigans. Like I said, YouTube is trying to get all my videos, like they took down the last video, which I didn't mention anything medical, and they said I was giving medical and misinformation. So if you like the information that I share, or you just like to come here and kiki with us, it just may mean that you need a little happiness and joy in your life. And you know, a Sag, especially a triple Sag, I could bring a little joy to your life. So if you like the content, you like what I share, putting a like just lets me know that you like it. And I keep giving it to you. And I keep coming over here to YouTube so they could do whatever they do. Okay. So, so what's happening is that our thoughts are being projected and the AI system is picking it up. Now, what we have to learn to do, there are ways to block that neural transmission from being able to be fed or ejected or transferred into the quantum field. Now, back in the days, they will tell you to put on like tinfoil hats. I disagree. Tinfoil is kind of like a catalyst. I wouldn't think that would be helpful. What I would do is put something more organic. And you know, I'm a fan of putting bamboo on. Interesting, I said that I am trans. Hold on. I'm trans panda, y'all. Let me get my panda. I'm trans panda. I am a trans panda. And you know, I'm a fan of bamboo. I love this. I love my trans panda thing. My bun is too high to do it. My hair's in my bun. So if you wear something like a natural bamboo on top of your hair, I think that mutes it a little bit. Also, be careful, because people will be like, well, I'm gonna put copper on my head. You do know copper is an exasperator. It actually is, it makes it more, it kicks it up. So anything metal is actually going to make it more. You would have to do something odd. Now, you remember when we're in our really paranoid state? I always feel bad, like the spider landed, I always feel bad, but she's fine. She went off. I didn't really hurt her really bad. Remember when at the beginning of 2020, like the group, some of you are from the group on my Patreon page, my Zoom page, the Zoomies, we decided to go with the lead. Now, I gotta be careful because YouTube is being real funky. Ever since they feeling themselves, right? Ever since they down with the get down and they want to make sure you don't know anything. Remember, I didn't say for you to do it. I personally had gotten these, you know how you go and get an x-ray and then they have you wear the cap or the thyroid thing to cover you in case you get exposed to radiation. Well, and you know, if you want to get in my concept about lead, I can't talk about it here, but you can also see it on, you know, the private channel, what lead's really about. I decided if I don't want anyone reading my thoughts, or I want my thoughts kind of my own, I just put, this is me personally, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse. I just put a lead cap on, And I tell you, the peace and joy you feel when your thoughts aren't being transferred and they aren't able to be picked up, it's priceless. Priceless. That's all I'll say. Okay? And bamboo head caps. Now, it was interesting because when I was going into this whole bamboo phase, remember I did the sananga, and then I saw the Buddhist monk at the tree, and he was like pushing the beehive with his third eye back and forth with like the sonic spiral thing back and forth. And he told me to only deal with bamboo. That's when I was up on the bamboo like crazy, right? So I put the bamboo, I don't have it with me in Pennsylvania, but I should have brought it. Sometimes I bring it. But when I went to go look up bamboo, just for like hair and stuff, put hair stuff on, guess what I found out? Women who are suffering from cancer or post, chemo, the doctors were telling them to wear these bamboo scullies. And I was like, wait a second. They're telling to wear bamboo scullies. How come they don't tell everybody to do that? Like, have you guys ever heard that? I never heard that. So yeah, head cap. So I was like, dag, let me buy it. And then lo and behold, I haven't been wearing it, but you wear it also if you have hair loss or hair issues or thinning because of the radiation. So you don't want to turn into a gray, right? Because part of the reason why the future humans turn into grays is because they get hyped up with all that radiation, and they end up turning into these future grays, and then coming back and trying to fix it after they already jacked up. Okay, so genetically, because you lose your genetic dexterity. But I would just, or also, thank you, my love, having shungite material, and you find now it's quite expensive, but I have a shungite guy who made a shungite hat, t-shirts, everything that mutes the radiation. And it mutes the ability for them to transfer those thoughts out into the kinetic field. So I'm just giving you what tips I know. But Fleur, that's why they checked checked kids for lead back in the days. It's because they blocked in the blood. Listen, goddess Libra, they gonna block our chat. I hope y'all are all here for the shenanigans, because you know they gonna block the chat. You said something grand. I agree with you. And let me know, because I'm gonna tell you, as soon as they check the chat, that's why a lot of times when you guys go back for replays, they block my chat, because y'all are up for the shenanigans, and they already know you giving some tips and some things that are helpful. Okay. Also, obviously, if you have dreadlocks, that's why you're seeing them promoting for brown women, especially, to all shave their heads off. Any woman that have shaved her, you got to be, unless she's sick, because you do not want to demonize women, but they are promoting Tiffany Haddish. What's that girl's name? Sanaya Lathan. All of them, they've had them shave their heads off because thick, coily hair, the 4C hair that people criticize, and that they told you your hair was too kinky and coarse. That's a lie. That's a lie. Jada Pinkett, all these people, that's a lie, because it blocks radiation. Why do you think people who live in remember, the sun is radiation, y'all. You do know that, right? I don't know if you know. And the sun isn't hot like you think. Because if the sun is hot, let me give you a fun fact. When we have summer is when the sun is furthest away. When we have winter is when the sun is closest. If the sun was hot, why would that be? See, they teach your children lies and smoke and mirrors. Do you understand? Let me repeat it again. When we have winter, the sun is closest to the so-called earth. When we have summer, the sun is furthest from the earth. If the sun is hot, why isn't the case? And one, you saw the so-called pseudo astronauts going out into space. If the sun is so bright and luminous and hot, how come when they go out in space it's all dark and black? Should I put on my let me put my trans hat on. Let me put my trans hat on. Let me put my trans. Big up to all the trans pandas in the house, y'all. Big up to all the trans. Listen, we gonna leave. We gonna be we're an endangered species. We gonna come out of the closet, y'all. We gonna be in bamboo trees. We're gonna get a whole bunch of bamboo back because they took our bamboo from us. We gonna come out of the closet, y'all. Trans pandas coming out to you 2022. Okay? Okay. I'm just saying. Just, oh, oh. Bugs, look at this. I have bugs all over me. I didn't hurt her, see? Okay, I don't kill bugs. Okay, it's just this, I'm out here in the beautiful country and there's bugs everywhere. I don't freak out at bugs, okay? So if you freak out at bugs, that's on you. That isn't me. Remember, we're ran by insectilians. If you freak out at bugs, because probably they're doing anal probes and all kinds of things on you and you don't even know it, okay? But Fleur is Lilith. It's one of her avatars. She is Queen of Hell and wants to trap your soul in the Saturn cube, sending you to hell. Daniel, I'm so flattered that you think I have that much power. And Queen of Hell, and I don't know what you consider hell. Is it because I have dark skin? Is that why you think I'm a demon? Is it because I have brown skin and I'm speaking certain things that you think I'm from hell? Because hell is hot and my skin is a reflection of hell? Is that why? Could that be why? Are you suffering from forms of complexionism and you really are cloaking it as calling me a demon? Is that why? See, a lot of people who have complexionism, what they do is they see somebody who looks demonistic to them because they have really issue with that person's ethnicity. So what they do is they cloak it by saying your other things. Like they'll say like you're an alien or you're a monkey, or they'll kind of cloak it as that so that they don't really seem like the biased, illogical, mentally ill, insecure species that they are. They just like to cloak it. So is Lilith like your code for like brownness? Like, do you see brown women that are illuminated and have some intellect and you say, oh my God, they're just demons? Is that it? I think that's it. I think you're just, maybe work on self-esteem. Let me give you some help. Drink a little green juice. Maybe come to my island where people aren't as prejudiced and they actually see illuminated brown women without clothing who love themselves, who have love for the planet, that even though it's holographic. Maybe you need some exposure to other women of color that are luminous. Maybe you've only seen women of color twerking because that's all you, maybe you're a pervert. Maybe you just like women twerking. Maybe if I was twerking, I wouldn't be a demon. I'd actually be an angel. Maybe you have like a flip mind. Let me stop. Let me stop messing with this man. I'm amused. Anyway, so that being said, we have to watch how we perceive, how we're able to block our mind from being picked up by these neurotransmitting quantum collectors. It's kind of like a quantum collector that the AI have. That's what I think it is. So that being said, I want everyone to be mindful. Now, what doesn't YouTube want me to tell you? There's a lot of things, okay? YouTube is, it used to be a wonderful playfield. Many of you know me from I've been on YouTube since 2011. Could you imagine how long that's been? That's why, people be like, FleurBrun looks different because I'm 11 years older, y'all. No, how many years? Wait, 2011? Oh my God. It's been a long time. And now I'm a panda. Could you imagine? I started off as a regular human girl that was just an andromedan. Well, actually an andromedan. Now I'm a panda. You see how the trans movement is allowing us to just express ourselves and come out and go further. Anyway. But no, I've been on a long time, and that's why, I don't really get too deep into the agendas of YouTube. YouTube is controlled by AI and all of Willy Wonka right now. Before, I think it was a lure. YouTube was a lure as a free platform to lure people into this stratosphere, so we would feel like this is a safe space to express ourselves, so that the cats in array could follow us and document our names and get our social, get us up on the watch list. Just like FB and IG. These are all surveillance platforms. You know that, right? This is a fit surveillance platform. FB is a surveillance platform. IG. They've just basically used these platforms to lure us, thinking that we have free expression. We're just talking to each other, and meanwhile, they're just watching us and documenting all of our the things we share and the people that we're aligned with. Okay, so now that they collected all the data, and now they can utilize it against you with monkey balls, kukarachi shot, the next version of Tupac's Revenge. Now that they got all the data, they don't really care about being polite. They are just brazen with it. They like, you know what? You sharing too much healthy information with the populace, too much truth. We just gonna delete that video because we don't want people knowing what we don't want them to know, because if they know better, they're gonna do better. That's the problem. So now YouTube is showing us clearly who it is. 2020 was the reveal, y'all. Okay, there isn't anything new under the sun. They just showed their rascals. They showed us who they were, right? So, we shouldn't be shocked. But do know when you come here, and that's why I do lives. People are like, why don't you download videos? First of all, I don't like to sit for hours and upload videos because I like to enjoy my day in nature. I do. And I like to be the panda that I am. I want to go eat bamboo and shove it in my mouth and, lie under the sun and the radiation sun, what have you. But I don't want to really upload videos. I feel like live, we kind of talk, we get it in, and I could be more authentically myself. I don't do edits and any of things. Oh, this is what I was talking about. See, I got off the, it's amazing. My mind just, see, the field. Shaving the heads. They are promoting for women to shave their heads, especially women of color. If you notice, it's not so much lunar women. Why is it brown women? Because brown women with 4C hair. And it's amazing to me. The 4 and the C is a 7, right? That's a heaven's number. That's heaven. 7-11, 7th heaven, 7 number. So 4C, 4 plus C, which is the third letter in the alphabet, that's 7. That's 7th heaven. That hair is literally a blocker, a neural blocker for them to register your thoughts and for radiation to permeate your brain. But it's the one thing that has been vilified from women of color. Now, everyone on this platform, anyone, I don't care if you're lunar, Asian, brown, Spanish, whatever you are, you can all agree that brown women's hair, coarse, coily hair, is the most vilified hair on this planet. Though it is the most helpful and protective to protect someone from radiation. How come you've never heard any doctors or any naturopathic doctors speak of that? Which many of us know, but how come? Having that thick, coily hair, you think that hair is just for show, or it's a protectant. So you got to say to yourself, why do some people have thicker, more protective hair who are from hotter regions that are usually closer to the southern hemisphere? Because they're exposed to more radiation. Okay? And because of that radiation, the only hair, let me say it again for the ones in the back of the room, the only hair on this godforsaken holographic projected nightmare planetoid that can protect you from radiation is kinky, coarse, coily hair. Negress's hair. The negative words and the negative things that they've told you about your hair. Straighten your hair, cut your hair, wear weaves in your hair, go get another woman's hair, straight her hair. They're telling you that because that is the product of protection. They will only vilify that which is good, because they want you to hate yourself and hate the one thing about yourself that will protect you during especially this time when you have bouts of radiation coming from all different angles, some natural and some artificial. So when you see women who are wearing their hair really coarse and allowing that coil to stay nicely and solidified, they are the least people who will probably have issues with AI being able to be able to pull out their thoughts. And if they have dreadlocks, which is even a more protective quality, they literally will probably not be able to be, something won't be able to pick up their mind thoughts. I think the telepathy is a little different and how it's drawn. Now, I can't verify that. I can verify the protection with the dreadlocks. That's why when they give you, when they electrocute you and they put you on death row, they shave your hair off. That's why when they had the Jewish people, the terrible things they did to the Jewish people in the concentration camps, they shaved your hair off. Anytime you get chemo, your hair falls off. But then you have all these brown celebrities celebrating, victimizing themselves, and illuminating shaved heads. Are you serious? Remember, like Joe Bigley? He's religious. I'll always say, are you serious? Are you serious? They shave women's, remember the witches? What would they do to witches right before they burned them and hung them? What'd they do? Because they knew their hair had magic in it. What'd they do to women? Because women's hair is thicker than men's. Let me just say, all women, lunar or otherwise. You know what they did to women before they hung them in the witch trials? They shaved their heads. I don't know why YouTube, you don't want people to know this. You want them to be susceptible to mind control. You want them to believe that no one knows what a woman is, even though you need a vagina and a womb and breasts to be able to have a healthy and bear children. They will have you thinking that light is dark and dark is light. That's why this man could come on this platform and feel real comfortable calling me the devil and Lilith, which is not the devil. But he can come on here and say I'm from hell, because in his world of social engineering, it's very normal for women, especially women who speak truth without any sort of chaser, to be vilified. It's very easy to do that. Women, all colors and complexions, leave your hair alone. Women of color, you have the most magnanimous, the most beautiful and protective hair. You shouldn't let any demon ever tell you that your hair is too nappy, because that nappy hair, that beautiful 4C hair, that's the hairs that's going to keep you protected from what's coming here. Stop letting people talk to you any which way. Don't put those hair dryers away. Take that hot comb and throw it in the garbage. Let everyone tell you that you are lesser because you have coily protective hair. Let them tell you something different when they're being radiated, because they didn't respect you and honor who you were. Leave your hair alone. I see it all over social media. I see women going and buying women's hair from Thailand and all these different places, and they don't even realize the hair that they have is gold. 4C, it's 7, y'all. It's 7th heaven. It is protective. That's why when you see all these old medieval movies and so on, the women braided their hair. They dreaded their hair. If women had straighter hair, they always braided their hair. You think that was just by chance? No, they braided it because it has, the more it's coiled, is the more it protects your brain. It protects you from radiation. It's a protective style. Leave your hair alone. When people used to call me a sellout saying, talk about hair, listen, hair is very important, especially now. And with all the radiation, that hair, they're telling you to shave your fufun hair off. Anyone who use Francophonic or Creole, you know what a fufun is. Yoni hair. They want you to look like a little girl, a little boy, ladies. If a man has, let me put a disclaimer on here. I'm about to go left, 2 seconds, put the earbuds on because I'm going to go left for like 2 seconds. I'm not going to stay on here long, but I'm going to talk real greasy right now. Your hair down here is supposed to be more coily, and you know why? Because it protects you down there as well. Because you notice, Lunars, you too have very thick hair down there as well. It's a protective style. They will tell you to shave it off, tell you, oh, shave it off, make it look like a baby. Why would you want your fufun, your yoni, your purse to look like a little child? To promote pedophilia? Why would you want your fufun to look like the butt of a newborn? Who's told you that? Any man who doesn't love the smell of your amazing pheromones, because that's what makes men attracted to us, is our pheromones down there. I'm not talking when you're not unhygienic. I'm talking about your pheromones, y'all. Down there, you have pheromones. When you shave that off, you lessen your chance to mate with a man properly and to attract the right kind of male. That hair down there is necessary to protect yourself electromagnetically. Any man who wants you to shave your hair down there, I would question his sexuality, and I would question if he doesn't have a propensity of liking little children. Grown men back in the days loved a woman with a whole nest of hair down there. You heard songs about it back in the days. There's blues songs to this day talking about the nappy happy. Okay? Y'all need to stop acting irrational and unnatural. That is healthy for you to have hair down there. It is healthy. It protects you just like a foreskin protects a little boy's phallus. They have told you things are unnatural that are natural and things that are natural that are unnatural. They can't even tell you what a woman is. And you're going to take your advice from these same people who can tell you biologically what a woman is? Leave your hair alone. Hair up here and down there. For lunars, keep your hair nice and coily and thicker because you're going to need it because your hair is thinner because you want to protect it from the radiation. Brown girls, brownies, brown men, stop shaving your head, brown men. All this bald, shaved head is sexy. Listen, I am a product of my Generation X. All that, that boom, boom, let the boys be boys, slam, you know what I mean? All that onyx, all that, that sexy Bronx, like shave head. That is a product of letting men be passive and exposed to radiation. A man who's shaving his head all the time isn't in alignment with the higher vibrations or frequencies. He by the nature of him unable to have hair up there, that already says it. Why do you look at all these religious men? And I say religious real loosey-goosey, but if you look at the Orthodoxy Jews, if you look at the Siddiqui Indian men, if you look at men in Africa, the Maasai, all of their hair is long and beautiful and they keep it thick and with beards. I wasn't a fan of beards because, I used to like them clean, but clean is just a concept of being a slave. When you get a man who's all slicked up, all cleaned in his head, all cleaned up, that is a remnants of slavery. That's a bondage man. He's a man that's bound. He's a restricted man because the free men all had hair, whether he was brown, lunar, or anything. You look at the Celtic men, those Vikings, all their hair was coily, curly, and down. They used to braid their beards up here too. They were all fuzzy. Okay? So we have to get back to nature, y'all. Please refrain from listening to Willy Wonka and his League of Doom tell you what's natural and not. Because like I said, if you have any culture of beings unable to define what a real woman is, and you notice I said real woman, you know that you're in a setup. This is the end of the cycle. We're about to go through World War III. They're already setting up. That's why you don't have cat food and baby food. That's because they're using all that equipment for war. We're about to go through that. And you shouldn't care that they don't have baby food, because if you're a natural mother and you're healthy, you'll be breastfeeding your child. Or you'll find healthy alternatives like some of us in the islands. And you should be you should be able to feed your family with just your garden. Why are you worried about what Willy Wonka's doing? See, the problem is we become so complicit and so complacent and so reliant on third parties to feed and sustain us. That's a form of they purposefully made us codependent. It's easy to control and cull a population that's codependent. If you rely on them for everything, basic needs, then you just basically are going to be at their beck and call when anything pops off. If you have all of everything that you have in Willy Wonka's hands, then you already know when it's time, when they call your number for the end, they've got your goat. You should be able to self-sustain yourself. Your garden should have everything. If you like castor oil, you should be growing castor seeds. Coffee, grow coffee beans. If you like strawberries, grow your own strawberries. If you like grapes, grow your own grapes with seeds, for God's sake, and fresh pineapples and collards and mustard greens and your cucumbers and your radishes and all of that. If you like eggs, then you better get up on the incubators and get some eggs and chickens if that's what you want to do. If you like to eat meat, then you should be able to procure your own meat and you should be able to go fishing. If these are the things you like to do and these are the things you enjoy, you can do it for less than Willy Wonka would like you to think. You're going to have to be self-sustaining, because I'm telling you, family, the reason why they keep cutting FleurBrun and they keep cutting my lives off and deleting them, because I told you, like I told you before, in the next couple months, you're going to have to be self-sustaining. And if you're not, you're going to be at the beck and call of Willy Wonka and the AI system, and you're going to have to eat the soy lectin that they've sent you. Arizona, it's not going to be difficult, because in Disneyland, there's a lot of plants that grow in tropical areas, like pineapples, certain kinds of star fruit, the dragon fruits, things that are like cacti based. You could do cactuses. So do cactuses are building liquid. You can also do certain hot types of more fleshy types of things. You could do more lemons, not so much limes. You can do a couple things in Arizona. You shouldn't feel that you can't. Water may be an issue, but if you do like water bags or create like it's called a water bag. I used to do it when my garden was a little dry. You can create like really wet packs of mud. You wet it and pack it, and it's like, I call them water bags, and you just fill them up and the plants will just feed from that underneath. And also do a graze system from your house. If you got water in your house, you can always have water in the garden. Just have a graze system with the water that's not as dirty and, leach with oil or anything. You put the pipe, get yourself a nice, agricultural man or agricultural person, or you do it yourself, and you build a little water system so that the water is never wasted, so that you get gray water going out to your garden. Anyway, y'all, my phone's about to go. I'm so sorry I came on impromptu. I'm going to be on Zoom in a couple minutes. I'm actually going to start Zoom for my Zoomies. I'm starting Zoom early tonight because I want to go to bed early. Don't forget to check your partnership to make sure they aren't chipped. And also, we'll discuss a little bit more about the contact in about, matter of fact, right after I get off of this, I'm going to start a Zoom because, like I said, I'd like to go to bed a little early today. But anyway, I really thank everybody for joining. Please put a like on the video if you enjoyed. Trans pandas, let's come out of the closet, y'all. They trying to block us. They're telling us we can't have Besmatch bamboo. We can travel. They're gonna have to import us back into our home base. So trans pandas, we're come out of the closet. I love you. Anyway, hopefully this live stays up. I never know. I would suggest you watch it because I can't control it at this point. They could say that I said whatever I didn't say, or I didn't say it, and they can't even fight it. So, but I will be on Zoom in the next 15 minutes. So if you want to join me on Patreon and Zoom, we're going to be in. We're going to go on the contact I had and some things I found out that are coming because of that. So I love you. I wish everybody well. Do enjoy. Big up to all those with full moon and Sagittarius. So I'm in rare form today, y'all. So all the Sagittariuses, even though I'm not a fan of the moon because it's a satellite and I don't agree with it, but I am enjoying the energies today. So apparently it's doing okay by me. So anyway, it's going to be Zoom time, 15-minute Zoomies. I'm going to be there, and I'll talk to you guys later. Love you. Peace.